Hello and welcome back to my workshop. Today I'm going to be reviewing a recent purchase of mine. It's a Tacwise 500 EL Pro electric nail gun. Takes 20 to 50 mil nails, which looks something like that, angled. Previous nail gun I had, which I broke, with straight nails, so unfortunately I can't use those nails, which is a shame, because I had quite a few of them. As I said, I broke my previous nail gun, which was also Tacwise, which was also second hand, and I hadn't had one for about 6 months, and I decided that I really needed one for holding stuff in place while it sets, or you know, sort of basically a quicker version than clamping it for 24 hours. So the reason I went for the electric one is I don't have an air compressor, and buying a decent air compressor, you're going to be spending, well, the range that I'm looking in, I'm going to be spending around about £120, and if you add £120, the pneumatic nail guns are cheaper. I paid £60 second hand for this. It should have been probably brand new. I think it's about £160. So the guy was asking 80, knocked him down to 60, and he said yes. The pneumatic ones probably are more like £50 to £60 brand new rather than 160. But when you add in the cost of having to buy the compressor, it just doesn't make sense unless you've already got an air compressor. So that's why I went for the electric. My previous one was battery, but that was a real pain having to take the batteries on and off. It was really hard work. They didn't clip and unclip nicely. I usually ended up having to manhandle the batteries with a screwdriver to try and get them off. So went for the electric. Guess I'm always in the workshop, so I don't need battery anyway. I don't need to be mobile. And yeah, as I say, that's why I went for the electric. Now, it's not as good as I was hoping it was going to be. They do say that the pneumatic ones have obviously got an awful lot more driving power. Well, some of them have, but there's the capability of having an awful lot more driving power to drive the nails in. So ideally I would have gone for the pneumatic one. Now, it does look like I might be about to treat myself to a pneumatic nail puller, and because almost all the work I do is with pallets, and so I'm always dealing with pallet nails, and you know, I spend a lot of time hammering nails out of pallets. So I think I'm going to treat myself to a nail puller, and there is no non-pneumatic version of that. Basically, the non-pneumatic version of a nail puller is a hammer, which is what I already use. So given that I'm going to treat myself to I'm going to have to treat myself to an air compressor in order to get the nail puller, I think this electric nail gun may be history. I might keep it. I'm actually split between two workshops. I've got a very large workshop, well, it's a barn, that I do all my pallet busting and nail knocking and all that sort of stuff. That's where I break all the materials up there. And then down here is where I do the more fine work of actually building and cutting and all that sort of stuff. So chances are my compressor is actually going to be in my top workshop, which is only a few hundred yards away, 500 yards away, but it's up a steep hill, and I don't really want to be lugging a compressor backwards and forwards several times a day. So actually, given that the compressor is going to live up with the pallets, I may keep this electric one on, just so that I've got something in my details workshop to be able to bang the odd nail in here and there. So just going to give you a quick demo of what I mean by why it's a bit disappointing. It's not knocking the nails in nearly as easily as I was hoping it would, which is kind of the whole point of the nail gun. So I'll just get this plugged in and get the camera adjusted so you can see, and I'll give you a quick demo. Okay, so I have the nail gun now plugged in. You have an on-off switch here, so that's your first safety. Second safety is that if you press the trigger, nothing happens, because this has to be compressed against something so that it knows that it's going to fire into wood. So I'm just going to fire a nail. So this planter is on its side. There's nothing really behind it, so it's just the weight of the planter. But it's quite a hefty. It's 120 centimeters long, so there's quite a lot of wood in here, so it's quite a lot of weight. If I fire, hopefully the camera's pointing in the right direction. If I fire a nail in, so I'm going to hold it behind, and I'm pressing as hard as I can on the nail gun. So here goes. So just turn that off, so I don't fire it by mistake. So I don't know if you can see that, but basically that nail there is still sticking out by, you know, 3-4 mil. So that really isn't what I want, and then I have to finish it off with a hammer. So that's really not what I want. So then I thought, okay, maybe I'm being a bit unfair. I'm not applying enough downward pressure. So I turn the planter on its end, on its back, so that I'm now firing down into a solid workbench. And so turn this on, fire down into a solid workbench. I'm also going to put my hand behind the, well, first of all I'll just fire it as it is. So hopefully you can see that again is still 2 to 3 mil proud. So I'll do another one, but I will actually put my hand on the end and press it down as hard as I can. Okay, so now that one has actually gone in. I'm just going to knock the original one in. So that last one did go in. It's a little bit proud, but of all the nails that I did along here, which is 2 to 3 in every, you know, that one over there's proud as well, 2 to 3 in every plank, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 nails that I did along here, probably 3 or 4 I had to bang in and just finish off manually. Now that really isn't what I want to be doing. If I'm, the whole point is that it's supposed to be speeding up my process, and that's just going to slow me down. So that last one that I did, I was pushing down on the back of the nail gun like that. It's a solid piece of wood onto a solid workbench, all the way down onto a solid concrete floor. There is no more pressure that I can apply to that nail gun. So it's okay, but it's not my preferred solution. I think I'm going to have to, once I've got the air compressor, I think I'm going to have to get a pneumatic nail gun and make sure that I get one with a decent pressure. So as I say, this is the Tacwise 500 EL Pro, and I think it retails for about £160 in the UK. Takes the angled nails, 20 to 50 mil, and those ones that I was firing in just now, which weren't going in very far, were the 40 mil. So that was 40 mil that I was just trying to drive in there. So not ideal. As I say, I may keep it just as a backup because I only paid £60 for it, second hand. So I may keep it down in this workshop just for the odd occasion where I want to just be able to drive a nail in, and I don't mind if it's just 3 or 4 nails that I want to drive in, and I don't mind finishing them off by hand. Then, you know, it does serve a purpose. So hopefully that's useful if you're thinking about buying one of these. I understand, because I suffered exactly the same, that you really, the cost of buying an air compressor just makes the pneumatic ones completely and utterly out of your league. But if you've already got an air compressor, or if you think there's something else that you might need an air compressor for, then definitely save up for the air compressor and get a pneumatic one of these. And when I get my pneumatic one, it's on its way to me now. I'm buying the nail gun from Amazon, and I'm getting the compressor from Screwfix. So when they arrive at the end of this week, I shall do a review of them, unboxing, and then use them for a few weeks, and then do a long-term review. So hopefully that's useful. Let me know if you've got any questions or any comments, put them down below. If you've got time to like the video, that would be superb. If you've got time to subscribe to the channel, even better, because that's getting my numbers up slowly. And until next time, thank you and stay safe.